Here we go. Um, so well, the first one wasn't being recorded. They wouldn't let me do it. I wasn't on my workspace
Okay.
account, the business one. But all right, so you come here, right? You have these parameters set up. Once you set up how to save them, right? In the recording, you can see which ones it is to put it in there. But to save, you just come over here, hit save as, right? Come on now, internet connection. Um, you can still hear me though, right?
Right now, yeah, we good.
And then once you come to save searches, once you do save as, then it'll come over here and save it. And then you can just recall it.
All
All
right.
right. So once you've done that, right, go to save searches. The one that we're saying. And when you want to do only the solicitations, right?
Mhm.
You want those two ones. I put all four so I don't have to add it. I can just delete and then it's just easier. Um, weeks out. All right, so then we got here and it was like some went away, right? Which is fine. But then that's still too many to go through, right? So I'll go to set aside and I'll put only total small business. So that means in order to be considered for it, you have to be considered a small business. Depending on the industry, it's like 40 million. You do 40 million in revenue and below. So anyone that's doing over that, they can't win the contract,
Gotcha.
right? So that usually will break it down. So now 859, and so then I'll take those, and if you come up here and go to actions and then download,
Hmm.
right? Usually, if you hit it, I use a CSV, save it, and then boom, right? So you save it, then you'll get into something that looks like this, right? So here's one, a solicitation for time purpose. Open that up. And I usually take it from here, copy it, and then I'll put it into,
Oh, the main one.
yeah, then I'll put it in over into here. But before I add it, I usually I scrub it.
Mhm.
So I'll take that once this loads up. Oh, there you go. So I'll take it, and then there's the one that says like sheet six. I usually post it in there. So here's one like that's posted. And then I scrub it. So I go through each one of these on stuff I feel that's easy for me to find,
Mhm.
right? Or that I got an idea, I don't know how to search for it. So let's say I might be, I don't know, but I think I can figure that out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
I'm going through it, nitrogen gas and trailer rental. I don't know, maybe. I'll just keep doing this. Maybe I could find a gospel singer. Right? Yep. And then there's some for sure that I know I could do. That's pretty simple because I've called on it before.
Yeah,
Catering service, yeah, probably can do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Propane, I'll do that just because I've called on propane stuff. Helium, same as propane. Fire alarm replacement, I don't know, maybe. Janitorial service, I usually do all those ones, right? I know what a janitor is. And I usually try to find stuff that's so I usually do services. So for example, this says like dorm chair replacement. I don't do that for us right now just because it'll cause us to have to pay money up front,
gotcha.
right? So I'm doing stuff that usually they just invoices and we can pay within 30 days. So this biohazard waste disposal, yeah, one on that probably. But let's say like hanger fans, like that
Yeah,
means we got to buy it and then sell it to them, or we got
gotcha.
to work out a deal or something like that. So I'm looking for stuff that I don't that invoice me. I know I had this one in there. And look on that. Interpreter services. I would like to get that because that's they need that all the time. Um, media monitoring. I'll probably look at that because I know some marketing. So, and this, as a matter of fact, this is already a down. This is a
Look,
list that I already broke down and
yeah,
added because that's why it's only has 94. So after I go through this whole list, right, which is basically this whole list, right, went through all that. Out of all the ones that I found,
yeah.
are after going through all that, 94 of them make the cut. So out of that, like 994, I felt oh, do something here. And then, so I added them onto this, right? And then I also, once you get it, like on this sheet,
Mm-hmm.
it's not, the response date, you can see it's not in order,
Gotcha. Yeah.
right? Because this is the deadline by the deadline that you have to respond by.
Mm-hmm.
I usually put it in by order.
Gotcha.
Then once it goes from here, I copy it, put it over. I scroll down to the bottom, and then maybe have to make some columns. I usually leave this stuff here. Um, what is this? This. So it's got to go above this, just because this is USPS stuff, right? And this is a different little beast, and I haven't been able to crack that just yet. This right here. And then this is the legend on what it means by as I'm calling on it. And we'll go over that in a second.
Okay, cool.
So once I bring it over here, right? So you can
Mm-hmm.
see the interpreter services. So I brought it over already. And then I do a little formatting because it doesn't come with it might come with a contact person, but it doesn't come with the contact number and the contact email. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like before, when I went and looked for the contracting officer,
Yeah, at the bottom.
at the bottom, I add that when if I go to like try to call on it. So
Got,
it just makes it easier for me when I'm, if I need to follow up or something. Right.
gotcha.
And so then I also I'll let him make it as a total small business set aside. So I kind of understand that. And then I put in here a notice type if it's solicitation or that just kind of lets me know because sources sought, they might have due dates on them, but they'll accept something after that due date, right? On a solicitation, if it's not in by September 5th at 10 a.m.,
Yeah.
it's a wrap. So then, all right, so now we got it on here. Any questions or you got it?
No, I'm good. That one's good. Yeah.
So that's how I get it to the list. Then once I have it on the list, so now I got like 2 weeks of working time.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of just pick what I feel, I can get to fast, right? Because some of them I might not, I don't know where to call just yet, right? But something like uh landscape maintenance,
Yeah.
right? I kind of know how to do the Google search on that, right? So then now that I got it, white means I haven't done anything to it, right? If it's got a blue, that means I called some people and I actually spoke with somebody and they said they were going to send me a quote, but they haven't sent it yet. And then I also notated over here. It has notes. So right, if you see, it says like spoke with a gentleman, was doing it fast, gentleman for a quote, and then I usually put the number. I usually put their name too, right? But maybe he called me back, I didn't get it. So the number and then the email, and then this is the name of the company. And then as you see here, I spoke with Lewis. This is Lewis. And who gave me, so one of them sent me back a quote, and it was I believe it was CDA plowing, right? They sent me a quote. No, what is this? Snow plowing. So he said he was gonna send it to me. He hasn't sent me back a quote yet, right? So that's why it's still blue. All right. Now this one is pink because I did everything in the blue, but someone actually sent me back a quote.
Got it.
And usually I kind of notated too, where who I actually say who sent me the quote, but I didn't do it this time. Because it's probably only one person, right? She's the only one that sent me a quote, so it's her. And then I usually and the reason I do that is because when I'm sending out those emails, a
Hmm.
lot of times they'll be chained on the same thread, and it's just easy for me to pull them up if I have the email address real quick. I don't have that. I'm like searching through email, and sometimes Google will be reorganizing an email.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them to. So, all right. So let's say if I'm gonna call somebody, which one we're gonna do? We're gonna do the landscaping one, right? Boom. I open here. I go to this notice ID, and then now I'm on Sam doing my work, right? So I probably need a new Sam thing because I don't want those filters in there. It's gonna mess up my search. Come over here, go to search, and usually now this is when I don't need to be signed in. Contract opportunities, and I usually do exact phrase. So I put that notice ID, exact phrase, thing comes up. I take that. I'll probably then I look here, and then I'm gonna download all this, right? So I download it, and then the thing that I'm looking for is here. I'll just download it, and usually it's gonna come in like a zip file, so you gotta unzip it, and you know how to do all that, right?
Yeah. All that good stuff.
Uh, but then I'm looking for the one that says usually the statement of work, right? Let's see what this says, right? So it doesn't really have it you know, easy. But I'll go over what some of this stuff is real quick. Uh, First, let me find the statement, and then I'll go over what the other stuff is. So that's not a statement of work. Let's see if I can move this thing. Here we go. I'm still looking for that. And the statement of work is basically telling you what the job is, right? What they want you to do.
Okay.
Or sometimes it's called a performance of work. But so no, that's not it. That's not it. So it must be this. And so yeah, here it goes. Description of requirement scope. And they want you to include mowing, trimming, pruning, and irrigation system monitoring. Detail requirements are provided below. And then here it's saying exactly what they're supposed to do. Furnish all the supplies, materials, boom. Uh, mow as needed. And then it's just getting into the gist of it,
Hmm.
right? And so also, if you see where it says these option years,
Yeah.
right? That's like so basically you'll bid you need to when you're doing your pricing
Hmm.
and you submit it, you need to submit as if you won all the years, right? So it's a 5 year total, yeah, the base year, and then but the government is saying the government has the option to pick you up at the end of the year. So
Gotcha.
if you did bad, option year, right? If they want to pick up that option, but normally they'll pick up all five.
Sweet.
I've heard, I ain't done it. All right, and then it's saying the stuff that you need to provide if you go to in this instructional offers. So it's
Mhm.
saying we need to provide we must be active in SAM, a technical proposal, a price proposal, and then the certifications of the contractor. They're so this that stuff uh we would do the tech well, we would tell them to write a technical proposal is basically them writing down what they would do. So instead of us telling us verbally, they need to write it out and explain it.
Mhm.
So if they say, "Hey, I'm gonna show up at this time. We're gonna unload. We're gonna use these mowers," right? They need to put that in, and we tell the subcontractor to do that. And then the price proposal, that's what we put together, and then these certifications. If they need to do any certification, again, the subcontractor will submit all that for us. Past performance, that'll be basically referrals. So they need to put that together for us and ask them to send that to us. And then we would put this, we would fill that out. We would fill this out. And then the rest of this, we don't need to fill this out because we're registered in SAM up to date. But we would need to submit it when we submit the proposal. All right. So
Gotcha.
once I got this, right?
Yep.
And then all right, and so this price schedule here
Yep.
is this is the format they want you to submit the pricing,
Uh-huh.
right? So when you give your pricing, it needs to be item. This is the exact thing, and then whatever the unit price is, and then
So
that unit price times 5 per month. Boom, that should be the answer or the total. And they want you to do that for each one of these and only submit it that way. Otherwise, they won't accept it.
damn, okay. All right.
Right. So even though when it comes to pricing on that sheet, I might have it in a different format, but when I go to submit in that proposal, it's this way.
Yeah.
Right. So then next thing I would do is I would find out where this needs to be done at.
Hmm.
Let's here. Mm-hmm. So it says here, this is where it would be done. It'd be done in Oregon. So now I'm basically gonna go up here, right? Google, and then I'm gonna do commercial lawn maintenance companies in what was that? Taylor, Oregon, right? I'm coming here, and whichever ones of these say they do commercial, I'm gonna call them.
Yeah.
And then once I call them, well, so and I'm gonna say the way that I call them because I was telling Sama, right? She was like, "No one gives me back quotes." I was like, "What are you telling these cats?" Right? She's like, "Oh, I'm just emailing them." I was like, "No, Sama, call them, and then you say, hey." Who is can I speak to the person that's responsible for giving quotes or commercial lawn care, right? And then
Hmm.
from there, they might say, oh, we don't do commercial, right? And then, all right, so you didn't waste your time. Then they'll be like, oh, that's Jimmy. Hold on. And then they'll transfer to Jimmy, or they say, oh, that's me, right? Then I just say, hey, well, I'm looking for someone that can quote out for some commercial service. They usually be like, well, where's it at? I say, it's over here. And then they be like, well, what do you need? What do you need done? And I said, cool. Best, what's your email address? So I can send you over the statement of work, right? It'll answer all the questions. I have all the details there. And they say, all right, they usually say, okay, send it over. I join over. But usually there's a statement. Let me show you what one usually looks like. Right. Every now and then they have it like that, but most of the time it looks like this. So it's just all one paper, and then you can send it to them just like this.
Got it.
Right. Those other ones you might have to edit. I don't send them all the contract stuff,
Yeah. You
right? I
just
just send them the statement of work, and then they look it over, and then a lot of if there is a pricing sheet in there, I say, hey, send me over the price, send me over your quote in this pricing sheet, right? And also send me because there's a possibility that we'll work with you for 5 years. I need you to send me for what it would be for each 5 years.
okay.
And I also tell them, hey, can you get that to me by the end of by today and at the latest, the end of the day by tomorrow? It's all right. And they give me their email address. Then I go to that's when I'm back over here on my sheet. They tell me the email address. Boom, boom. Also at this time, because I'm looking at this, right? I went down here and I've added her. And so I had a contact email. Boom. And now if the person said that they're gonna send me over the thing, I also change it to blue, just so I know I'm working out a little bit, right? Uh so bam, now I get the email, now I get it back, right? And I know I'm taking a little bit long to explain this stuff, but this is you once you get in a little groove,
No, that
I'll
works.
probably knock out about like
Hmm.
if I'm working them, I'll probably just go about like 3 or 4
Hmm.
five, right, in a day. And then that way I can get to the proposal. That's usually what takes most of my time.
Okay.
So they call
No.
me back, and then that's when
Hmm.
I get to the pricing sheet. Or
Hmm.
like so they give me a quote, I'm back with that quote, and it looks something like, let's say this propane delivery. We'll use this. And then I start working off this sheet, right? And I sent you over like basically a worksheet, a basic one, right? And this specific one, right? Or you can just duplicate this. It has the option years in there. And so with these option years, basically this automatically gets, I add 5%. So there's a 5% inflation charge automatically.
Gotcha.
All right. All right. And then, so let's say, for example, this person, they wanted some propane. This is the one we bid on too. They said we got to do 19 propane tanks at 12 locations. It's probably going to be 70,000 gallons for the year, right? They said it's going to be, right, this is the date. So I said, all right, 70,000. I called these people. They said it's going to be $1.27 per unit or $1.27 per gallon, right? You do that, boom, got this number. And then I put in another admin fee for 12 months. Because if we're going to hire someone to do it, I said, well, it'll make like $350 a month, right? It's extra $4,000 a year. And then, so then let's just say there's an error or something. I put in like 10% error, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if there's a mess up or something, we got some cushion there. Then I put in whoever is working these, I put in a marketing fee for them, right? So the their whatever their salary is built into our price, not taken
Gotcha.
from, we got our own little profits, right? So that's in there. And then and so whoever works it, I give them 25% of the profit. No, let's see what it is. I think it's 25%. Yeah, I think it's 25% of the profits.
Wait.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, 25% of the profit. So not the gross. Uh, so then once it calculates, it's going to give, if we do a 15% markup or if we do a 20% markup, right? So this one's 147, this one's 150. All right, so boom. Now, again, so that's that one. And then also on here, let's raise up some. On this sheet, I put in like the name of the person that gave me the proposal, his
Mm-hmm.
email address, the number, the company they work for. Because usually when you're doing the proposals, they'll have, they'll be like you might have three or four. And so I need to be able to see the different ones.
Gotcha.
All right. And then at the bottom I put whoever the contracting officer is. All right. So now also you can see there's a difference between this one and this one,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is because remember on the pricing sheet, it only asks for those certain categories. I adjust it to still have this admin fee in there,
Mm-hmm.
but it only is going to show this one category. So you can see down here, this price is 133 per gallon versus the 127, but it comes out to the same 9,300, 9,300. So I had to do a little math there, but that GPT broke it down for me.
Yeah.
Right. And then so basically I just put some notes why it's different, what I did to make a difference, and I added 6 cents.
Got
and
it.
reflect the 1 year admin fee. And then it broke it down. And then also down here, um, it knows to take the cost of the proper year. So that's option year one's cost, option years two, because also, and the reason that's down there is because the cost that we get it at is going to go up 5%. And so I need to make sure that that's reflected in each of those option years to do it. So it'll automatically do that too. Then comes to that pricing sheet. So in this particular one, this is how they wanted the pricing sheet. So I basically took that, boom. And I also do it two different ways. So this has the option years each year. And this is the one that they usually want in this format. And then I just PDF that out, save that bad boy. So now I got that pricing sheet. Then the last step is the actual proposal. Now sometimes they don't need to do this, but
Mm-hmm.
it's here if they need to. And then this is just me filling in the solicitation, right? Number. We're going to dry ice one. I'm getting that from here. The unique ID number, that's always stays the same. Who this is prepared for, I get that from here, right? Diane Fowler, Lauren, and I fill that in. Usually I just need to change this and maybe some work down here, some wording down here. I mean, you can keep it signed from as me, or you can create one where it's yourself. The only thing you would, if you submitted it, you just put the
Yeah.
number you want them to contact you on. The update by itself as we edit it. This usually stays the same. I'll depending on what we're doing, I'll edit this a little bit. That stays the same. This pricing sheet, I'm just copying and pasting from that sheet that we just saw,
Got it.
right? This is where I edited a little bit, but for the most part, this uh this maybe edit a little bit. Oh, this I usually just copy from here, but then the scope of work, I'm copying from this right here. I'm just copying and pasting. And then when I copy and paste here, I'm just formatting it. The references, we got our basic ones, right?
Yeah.
And then these ones they gave me.
Okay.
He gave me these, and I added that too. So, they hit up David. Hey, hit up Josh. He better put in work. Paul, Paul also gave me he gave me a letter of recommendation.
Sweet.
I edit that a little bit, kind of give him a heads up so he knows, but uh and then here's that technical description,
Mm-hmm.
right? Basically it said 300 pounds of dry ice will be delivered before 11 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday. The dry ice will be in a bag, vehicle that is suited to transport the dry ice. If there is not a container on site that can properly for the dry ice when delivered, most likely a bin will be provided um, to location. And then that's just basically the technical description. Let them know what they're doing. And then boom, I, once you do all that or edit it, you'll have to just come up here to the table of contents. And then usually if you hit refresh, update, the pages and everything. I basically file, PDF it, boom. And then once you do that, now there's usually another sheet. So you'll send that proposal, you'll send the pricing sheet, and then there's actually sometimes, sometimes there is, or sometimes there's not, right? Usually, there's clauses and provisions.
Mm-hmm.
Check that to see if there's anything you got to sign or fill out. In this one, you usually have to do up to B, right? It says paragraph B. Anything after that, it's just this first part. Uh, it's usually this first part that says, "Hey, am I a non, right? Am I using telecommunication equipment?" You say no. Um, where's the part at? Oh, yeah, I wanna say we got like 2 minutes before that off. So yeah, so as you see here, it says offer represent. All right, the offer shall complete only paragraph B of this provision if the offerer has completed the annual representation and certification electronically in the SAM management system, accessed through sam.gov. If the offerer has not completed the annual representation, then you complete only paragraph C through V, right? But we've completed it, so we don't have to do
Rest.
all this other stuff,
Gotcha.
right? So and that's what it'll say in that, and you'll see these provisions a lot. But also sometimes it'll have. Let me see if I can find stuff. Yeah, so it'll have this form here,
Uh-huh.
and you will. All right, let me get over here into the. Oh, it says I got less than a minute.